The United Workers' Party in Dominica, the Dominica Freedom Party, and the National Joint Action Movement, together with several civil society organizations, are calling on voters in the Commonwealth of Dominica and in the diaspora to boycott the elections of December 6th. The group of opposition parties and civil society organizations call the snap election a, quote, abuse of power, and the UWP, which currently occupies 3 of the 21 seats in Dominica's House of Assembly, said that it would not contest the upcoming election or any future election unless electoral reform is enacted. It called on Dominicans at home and abroad to do likewise, refraining from casting ballots in any general election until a clean voters list is published and national identification cards issued. A joint statement from the group said the Dominican citizenry is concerned with the electoral process, which they believe gives unfair advantage to the incumbent Democratic Labour Party, which they accuse of unfairly manipulating the elections to ensure a favorable outcome for the party. Following 3 general elections in which questions about the voters list and the conduct of elections were raised, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit himself had promised in 2019, following his victory in December of that year, that the DLP administration would move quickly on the issue of electoral reform.
It is my intention to invite a renowned Caribbean jurist to lead a national commission on electoral reform. The work of that commission, added to all the previous consultancy and election reports from various international organizations, together with the decision of the courts, will inform the shape of Dominica's electoral reform. Public hearings will be held throughout the country, and all Dominicans will be able to appear before the commission and give their views. Provision will be made for anonymous submissions, as well as for an open discussion forum on social media sites.
The appointed commissioner, Sir Dennis Byron, had indicated recently that he would be ready to present the first phase of his report and reform recommendations in November, and even attached draft legislation to the missive sent to the former UWP leader and copied to the chair of the country's Electoral Commission, which Sir Dennis said hoped could be passed into law in January. The letter was dated November 6th, the same day Prime Minister Skerrit shocked the nation by announcing that he had dissolved Parliament. Since the announcements, several Dominicans have taken to the streets in protest.
Reform, no election! No 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 reform, no election! Reform! 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 Reform!
Former Agriculture Minister Athy Martin, speaking at a press conference of the Electoral Reform Coalition, urged Dominicans to make every effort to disrupt the unfolding electoral process. Quote, if we can stop the nomination process, that is stage 1. If we can stop the actual election, that is stage 2. However, Prime Minister Skerrit says that the scenes of chaos that unfolded during the last election 2 years ago, including roads blocked with burning debris, would not be tolerated. Quote, you fight elections with policies, programs, and ideas, not blocking streets and burning streets. It is not going to happen again, and if it happens, we will deal with it according to the laws of the Commonwealth of Dominica, Skerrit promised. Following the protests over the past week or so, Chief of Police Daniel Carbon ordered that police officers have their rest days cancelled effective today, Thursday, until Election Day on December 6th.